Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Wenatchee residents may see increased first responder and police presence at Wenatchee Valley College this Friday, but there will be no need to worry. We'll tell you why. The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority wants to hear more about what people want from a regional sports complex. Get ready for a warm-up tomorrow and especially by the end of the week and into this weekend with temperatures well into the 80s. A two-car head-on accident on Highway 97 in Riverside yesterday hospitalized one of the drivers with serious injuries. According to the Washington State Patrol, at 11:20 a.m., a southbound 2002 Ford F-150 pickup was attempting to make a left turn onto Main Street when it was struck by a northbound 2006 Chevrolet Aveo. The driver of the Chevrolet, 71-year-old Barbara J. Booker of Oroville, was airlifted to Confluence Health Hospital before being transferred to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. The driver of the pickup, 38-year-old Jose Cisneros of Chelan, was not injured but faces possible charges of driving under the influence. Neither driver was wearing seatbelts. Highway 97 was fully blocked for over 4 hours. Washington State currently has the highest gas prices in the country, according to data by AAA. The average price of regular gas in the state is $4.91, while the national average sits at $3.57. The west side of the state carries the heaviest gas prices, while Chelan County is slightly above the state average at $4.93, and Douglas County falls below the state average at $4.79. Grant and Okanagan counties are both above the state average, with Grant County gas prices at $4.93 a gallon, while Okanagan County is at $4.98. Even though the state currently carries the highest prices, the current average falls below numbers from this time last year, which hit over $5.50 a gallon. 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse will bring a team of fellow Republican lawmakers to the Snake River Dams next week. Newhouse plans to hold a site visit and field hearing on Monday at Ice Harbor Dam near Burbank, along with Spokane Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers and 3 other elected House members. Newhouse and other Washington Republicans are pushing back against calls to remove the 4 dams to ease salmon flow to and from the Pacific. They say the dams are invaluable for river commerce, agriculture, and energy production in the southeastern part of the state. Wenatchee residents may see increased first responder and police presence at Wenatchee Valley College this Friday, but there will be no need to worry. Wenatchee Valley College, Confluence Health, the Wenatchee School District, and regional police, fire, and EMS agencies are partnering up for a safety training exercise. Together, they will be simulating an active shooter incident with volunteers playing roles of patients depicted with injury makeup and vital signs indicated on cards. The exercise will allow for first responders to address the simulated threat and have the volunteer patients sent to Confluence Health to allow medical staff to practice triaging, treating, and managing an influx of wounded patients. Confluence Health Emergency Preparedness Coordinator Jean-Michael DePena said that while they hope the training is never needed in a real incident, it is important for the community partners to prepare and identify areas for improvement. When we come back, the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority wants to hear more about what people want from a regional sports complex. The Mission Ridge ski team is bringing back their Kids Triathlon for a second year. And downtown Wenatchee has a new bronze sculpture in place to honor a longtime arts patron and educator. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Castle Rock International is the Northwest premier real estate agency for large acreage properties, farms and ranch land, lodging and resorts, and other distinctive commercial real estate. Professional, knowledgeable, and discreet, Castle Rock International has the listings and the buyers you have been looking for. Contact John McNamara at Castle Rock International today or visit their website for more information on this award-winning company.
I had had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority wants to hear more about what people want from a regional sports complex. Last week, consulting firm Barry Dunn held stakeholder meetings, focus groups, and 2 open houses to gather feedback from the community. The next step is an online survey for residents to provide even more feedback and ideas by allowing participants to comment on current facilities and to post suggestions on something they call an online idea wall. The survey is still part of Phase 1 of the project and will continue through September. If you are interested in sharing your thoughts, you can find the survey on the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority website or on NCWLIFE.com. The Mission Ridge ski team is bringing back their Kids Triathlon for a second year. The event, which is for kids ages 6 to 14, will begin with a swim leg in the swimming area of Walla Walla Point Park and then transition to the bike leg and finish with a run to the finish line. Lifeguards will be present for the swim portion and participants will need to bring their own bikes. Distances for each leg of the swim, bike, and run vary by age category and no experience is required. The event is limited to the first 100 competitors per age group, and the cost to register is $45, which you can do on the Mission Ridge Ski Team website or on NCWLIFE.com. Downtown Wenatchee has a new bronze sculpture in place to honor a longtime arts patron and educator. Roseanne Lynn died in 2019 after teaching in the Wenatchee School District for years and coordinating the outdoor bronze sculpture program for Art on the Avenues. The sculpture by artist Kevin Patel is called Roseannes Tango, and it sits near the community fountain in the Numerica Performing Arts Center Plaza. The Wenatchee Downtown Association unveiled the artwork on June 3rd as a tribute to Roseanne Lynn's memory. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, Department of Natural Resources Commissioner Hillary Franz was in Wenatchee on Monday to address the annual conventions of the Washington State Council of Firefighters. Warmer temperatures in our Wednesday forecast before we jump into the 80s Thursday and right through the weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find out?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
In tonight's feature story, Department of Natural Resources Commissioner Hillary Franz was in Wenatchee on Monday to address the annual conventions of the Washington State Council of Firefighters. During her visit, she dropped by our studios for an interview with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins. You can see that full interview late this week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Among the topics of conversation, DNR's air attack strategies for tackling Washington wildfires.
Well, DNR's air fleet response has been pretty quick. From our point of view, we've seen the planes flying when there's been a fire incident in the area. And I know that was one of your key projects within the last 5 to 7 years. You said our air fleet is old. We run risks of, losing some air capability. We want to bring that up. How's progress? Are you pleased with that fleet? Is it where you want it to be?
Yeah, so let me just say there's a number of things we did. First, we did, when I came in this role in 2017 after the horrific fires of 2014 through 2016, we had a very aged fleet of 8 Vietnam War helicopters. And it was clear that we weren't going to get any new resources until we really leveraged the ones we had. And so we leveraged those quickly on initial attack. The moment there's smoke in the air, instead of wasting time sending a fire engine out to, respond, right? We sent our aircraft immediately, get on those fires quickly, contain them, put them out. Yet 8 isn't going to go very far, right? And so we have been pushing to increase the number of air resources we have and also get more modernized fleet in, not just those Vietnam War helicopters. So specifically, and I think this is actually really telling. So in 2021, we were coming off the Labor Day firestorms of 2020. We all remember that, where we had 56 fires in 24 hours. We had, in 72 hours, we had 600,000 acres burned because we had hot, dry landscape. We had hurricane force winds, and we had a lot of people out there, enjoying nature and unfortunately, sometimes starting fires. We were putting all hands on deck trying to get every air resource we could at the federal level. Unfortunately, California and Oregon were also on fire at the same time. And so as we made those calls to get more aircraft, we weren't able to because they were already being utilized in much more high population centers. 2021 is, Washington State was going through its worst drought and western United States was all in drought, I changed the way we secured our aircraft. Instead of going to sort of having our own fleet and then doing call when needed with private companies, we went to exclusive use. So instead of me hoping that those resources would be available in our time of need, I made sure we had them under our control at all times. And that's when we moved in 2021 to 37 aircraft, where we have them predisposed, in areas that we know are likely to have fires so that we can get on those fires quickly, contain them, and move on to the next one. We will have 37. We already have 37 that are going to be distributed throughout the state in those high-risk areas, literally covering the entire state of Washington. What that's enabled us to do, as you said, more and more resources. We'll have a significant fire, and you might have 8, 10, 12, 15 on that fire, and we'll have multiple spot fires that are happening constantly throughout the time you're on that fire. We can pull one off really quickly, go put that one out, get back on the fire. And that has enabled us to actually exceed our goal of keeping 90% of our fires below 10 acres to achieving 94% of our fires below 10 acres, even in some of the worst years like 2021.
Time now for a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Tuesday was a good one. Lots of clouds out there and some scattered showers developing this afternoon. This is up north as we take a look at our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera, the city of Pateros and Brewster in the background there. And you can see some scattered, very light drizzly showers. We did see that throughout our viewing area about mid to late afternoon today. And I think that'll continue a little bit into tonight. Then we'll be done with those rain showers. But boy, it was cool today. 64 degrees unofficially. 79 is where we should be for this time of year. So 15 degrees below our normal high temperature today. 97 is our record, and that was set in 1982. 54 our low this morning, pretty much in line with where we should be for low temperatures this time of year at 56. Our record cold, 1997, we were at 47 degrees. Sunrise 5:04, and the sun sets tonight at 9:01. Let's take a look now at your hump day temperatures, and you'll see a slow warm up. Not so much tomorrow. We will jump up quite a bit, but the big increase will be as we get into the weekend. 74s in the Columbia Basin for Quincy, Ephrata, and Moses Lake. Wenatchee, we should also hit 74 tomorrow, and then a little cooler, Entiat and Chelan. Not much, though, still in the low 70s. 72 in Leavenworth, and 67 the high temperature tomorrow up in beautiful Lake Wenatchee. Let's take a look at what we can expect tonight. Mostly cloudy skies in our forecast. That's because of this area of low pressure still bringing some clouds revolving around that low, and that'll be it for clouds for the next few days. Seasonal temperatures tonight in the low to mid 50s. For Wednesday, partly cloudy skies as we mentioned. It will begin to warm up. High pressure will replace low pressure, and remember, we've got this huge anchoring high off the Pacific coast, mid 70s for most of us tomorrow. And then on Thursday, that's where the real warm up comes into play. Mostly sunny skies and warmer. For Thursday, we'll see high temperatures near 80, and boy, just clear skies up and down the west coast by the end of the week. For Friday, mostly sunny skies and even a little bit warmer. We're going to jump into the low and mid 80s for high temperatures. Might see some scattered thunderstorm activity. I think that will mainly be along the Cascades. Keep your eye on the sky on Friday. As we mentioned, mid 80s for temperatures. Saturday, more of the same. Sunny skies all around to kick off our weekend. It will warm up somewhat. Once again, the threat of thunderstorms to the north with high temperatures in the mid 80s. Beautiful all over central and eastern Washington Saturday. By Sunday, mostly sunny skies and even warmer yet. We will jump into the mid and even upper 80s for high temperatures. High pressure continues to be the weather driver as we get into this weekend and next week. Monday, more of the same. Mostly sunny and warm with high temperatures in those mid to upper 80s. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast tonight. 51 degrees, so still below normal for overnight low temperatures. That will change coming up. 74 tomorrow and partly cloudy. 79 on your Thursday forecast and mostly sunny skies. And then we jump right back into the 80s on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Mostly sunny to sunny skies. Low 80s Friday, mid to upper 80s then. Saturday right through Monday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, host of Network TV, and I'm looking for you, our next guest, to come on air live at the NCWLIFE studios. We would love to feature your business, organization, or nonprofit and share about the work or innovation happening inside of your organization. It's super easy to come on air. You just need to send us an email. info@ncwtech.org. That's info@ncwtech.org.
Seattle Mariners are in the Bronx to take on the New York Yankees, first of a 3-game series in the big ball yard. Seattle will send George Kirby to the mound. George Kirby grew up a Yankee fan. He's 6-5 with a 3.25 ERA. He'll take on Garrett Cole. He is the Yankees' ace. He is 7-1 so far this year, 2.75 ERA. Game is on right now. Don't change the channel. We need the ratings. Former Mariner Daniel Vogelbach and Francisco Lindor each went deep for the Mets. Thank you, Mets. They beat Houston. We want that. Vogie was 2 for 5 in the game with a run and 3 RBIs. And Josh Young, 3 for 5 with a couple of runs and a solo home run. Texas beats the White Sox 5-2. The Rangers still lead the American League West by 5 games over the Angels, 6.5 over Houston. Seattle still remains 9 games back. Apple Sox stepped out of league play. Non-leaguer last night took on Redmond for the first time, and they beat them. The final score was 10-6. Marty Kaplan had an RBI base hit in the bottom of the 5th. That broke open the 5-all tie, and they rolled. From there, we get more from the voice of the Apple Sox. It's our buddy Storman, Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox earned a 10-6 victory in non-league action against the Redmond Dudes on Monday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Mason Strong finished a home run away from hitting for the cycle, and meanwhile, Apple Sox catcher Nick Putnam delivered 2 different RBI singles. It was a great game for a lot of new players joining the Apple Sox. Whether their first games were on Friday or on Monday night, a lot of new guys came in and really helped show why they deserve a lot of playing time down the stretch. It was the first ever meeting between the Apple Sox and the Dudes, and the Sox improved to 1-0 in non-league action in 2023. They will have more non-league games coming up this coming weekend on Friday and Saturday when they host the Northwest Star Academy at 6:35 p.m. each night. But before that, the Apple Sox are on the road early on Tuesday morning, heading up to Kamloops. It's the first trip north of the border as they face the Northpaws in a rematch of the North Division Series from the 2022 playoffs. First pitch Tuesday through Thursday on the road is at 6:35 p.m. each night. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Mason Strong and Frankie Carney each got 3 hits for the Wild. Jet Jayco, there's a cool name. He got the victory in 2 innings of stellar pitching. Prior to yesterday's ball game, the West Coast Conference, the West Coast League, I should say, named their big left-handed first baseman for the Wenatchee Apple Sox as their player of the week, courtesy of Moss Adams. Easton Admonson, the junior from Lower Columbia, collected 6 extra base hits last week, including 3 home runs. Of course, the Apple Sox won their series against both Springfield and Kelowna. The Moss Adams Player of the Week for the pitchers, Bellingham pitcher Jack Erdman, the junior headed for Tennessee Tech, allowed just 2 hits over 5 innings against Kelowna with 10 strikeouts. As Joel mentioned, they are in Canada for the first time this year, taking on the Kamloops, the North Paws, in West Coast League play tonight. The game is at Norbrock Stadium. Gets underway at 6:35. Joel with the action on Sunny FM. Not a lot of West Coast League baseball last night. Corvallis walloped Walla Walla 11-2. The Knights bringing 14 men to the plate. They scored 10 runs in the 6th inning to remove any doubt about that. Springfield and Portland were rained out. We'll have to make that up at a later date. Of course, the Wenatchee Wild is moving up. They're going to be in the WHL, and that still leaves one big question: the futures of Bliss and Gretchen Littler. Now, they're a hockey family. Of course, Cade, their oldest boy, played for the Wild. He's on his way to college in North Dakota. They also have a daughter who plays hockey. Her name is Grace. So when we talked to Bliss last Friday after the big announcement, the obvious question is, are you and your wife going to stick around?
So I signed a 10-year deal 2 years ago. So, and that, when that's done, I'll be almost 65 years old. So we're not planning on going any place. And Cade will he'll go to play in the United States Hockey League this year in Cedar Rapids before he goes to the University of North Dakota the following year. My daughter Grace, she's going to Penticton, and she's going to play for the Okanagan Hockey Academy girls program, and hopefully she's able to make a college decision shortly. She's a junior, so she's got a little bit of time, but the 15th of June, she was able to start talking to some colleges, which is pretty neat.
Littler says the ownership of the Wenatchee Wild will be making some personnel and coaching decisions over the next couple of weeks. Of course, it's off to the WHL next year. We couldn't be more excited. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Have a good Tuesday.
On Wednesday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, it's our weekly check-in with Joel Norman, who's in Kamloops, or here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium.
Yeah, looking forward to a few big games coming up this week for the Apple Sox as they take on the Kamloops North Paws, and then back home this weekend against the Northwest Star Academy.
And if you haven't signed your kid up for kids camp, it's not too late. Joel on the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
Pitch to the plate on an 0-2. Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is back on the NCWLIFE channel. Join us Tuesday, June 27th as the Apple Sox host the Port Angeles Lefties. Coverage is brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Merry Maids, Mini Blinds and more, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. Your television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCWLIFE channel.
Before the
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run cameras so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's a Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I gotta go figure out this camera.